background. So for a long, Andhra Pradesh has been called a land scam. Irrespective of the party in power, government and politicians, the states got embroiled in various scams, whether it was Congress in the past or now, or Telugu Desam in power till 8 years ago. Scams have been a regular feature of our political administrative culture. There have been obtained inquiries and probes by the Anti-Corruption Bureau, Central Bureau of Investigation, Vigilance and Enforcement Department, House Committee, Judicial Inquiry Commissions, AP Lok Ayukta, besides AP High Court, Supreme Court, cases into many of these scams. The list is quite long and I need not recall the details which are well known to many of my colleagues in this august house. In recent years, newspapers and TV channels are going to town with one scam or other surfacing every day. There is no doubt that many of these scams have been flourishing due to the politician, bureaucrat, businessmen, contractors nexus. In the recent past, the state has witnessed a lot of fireworks on account of court cases and CBI, ACB and probe into various issues ranging from the aborted Volkswagen deal to Jalagan contract, land allotments for SEZs and other ventures, mining lease and illegal iron ore, mining disproportionate assets to some high-profile political leaders who have swapped the treasuries and opposition benches, etc. I don't like to take any names, nor do I want to cast aspersions on anyone, so since the judicial dictum says everyone charged with the criminal offence shall be presumed innocent unless proven guilty. Also, liquor syndicate, liquor barons and liquor contractors have been part and parcel of state politics for decades. The liquor barons and contractors have adorned high offices in state, right from Zilla Parishad chairman post to ministerial berth in the state cabinet. Some of them were elected to state legislature and parliament. Instances are not rare wherein liquor contractor became an endowment minister and a liquor baron headed a high-profile temple trust board also. No district and no region of the state can claim immunity for the influences of the liquor lobby on local politics, and this is the real crude reality, sir. Moreover, Andhra Pradesh holds the dubious distinction of clamping and lifting prohibition whenever it suited the powers that be. I was glancing through the statement of excise demand number 6, 2011 and 12, and I found the background of a prohibition policy. So prohibition policy was forced in Seema Andhra area during the British rule from 1937 through the Andhra Pradesh state 1953 and 1956. And even after the formation of Andhra Pradesh, prohibition was lifted in Seema Andhra area, November 1, 1969, and I am told that then Chief Minister, I do not want to name, made the announcement of lifting of prohibition of October 2nd, 1969, which was incidentally Gandhi Jayanti Day and coincide with the birth centenary of Mahatma Gandhi. Sir, after N.T. Rama Rao became the Chief Minister, his government had introduced Varuna Vahini scheme in 1986-87, sir. AP Beverages Corporation was established in 1986 as a fully owned undertaking of the government with the main objective of supplying hygienic packed arak bottle, arak for the poor people, sir. So the corporation has set up 22 arak bottling plant at various district locations at the cost of 32.65 crores then, sir. Later, the arak bottles were replaced with arak sackets. At that time, the Congress, which was in opposition, had raised a hue and cry about the Varuna Vahini scam, linking it to an arak baron from Tamil Nadu. Varuna Vahini flourished for about 6 years from January 1987 till September 1993, when Mr. Kotla Vijayabhaskar Reddy government banned sale of arak in entire state. Arak ban was first imposed in Nellore district. From April 1993, after NTR backed the anti-arak movement launched by Women's Sale of IMFL, was however continued. NTR regained power in 1994 and the slogan of total prohibition and imposed total prohibition except on toddy and later from January 16, 1995. To quote from the statement of excise demand, sir, however, taking into account the experience gained in implementing total prohibition and the growing menace of illicit liquor and smuggling of liquor from across the border, the government took a decision to permit sale of Indian-made liquor beer from April 1997 to put the record straight, sir. It was Chandrababu Naidu Saab who partially lifted prohibition month after reimposing the ban on People's War groups of Naxalites. Sir, during the short tenure when total prohibition was in force, 4 prohibition and excise commissioners were changed in quick succession, sir. They include Mr. Jannat Hussain Saab, Mr. A.K. Mohanty. In fact, Mr. Mohanty had submitted a report on the menace of illicit liquor and smuggling of liquor from across the border and named many leaders, including the legislators at that time. As the kingpin behind the racket, moreover, within the short period, lakhs of persons were booked, arrested, jailed for smuggling illicit consumption of liquor, sir. So the moral behind the citing this history is that both Congress and Telugu Desam imposed and lifted prohibition at their convenience without caring for the lives and livelihood of the people. Other parties too adopted the opportunistic stance on the issue of prohibition, demanding its imposition, sometimes tactically supporting its withdrawal on some other occasion. It is only our party, MIM, that has maintained a consistent stand on the issue of prohibition. We have always opposed the consumption of liquor and campaigned for the total prohibition from public platforms. Sir, as MIM President, my late father, Salamullah Sultan Salahuddin Owaisi, lent support to anti-liquor movement. Whenever they surfaced in the state, he had attended the Akiya Vidika meeting convened by Ramoji Rao Saab when the anti-Iraq movement peaked in state in 1992. Similarly, my brother also, Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi, when he was a member in the August House, had fully supported NTR when he imposed the total prohibition. He had stoutly opposed when Mr. Chandrababu Naidu Saab lifted the prohibition in 1997. Sir, I am also campaigning for the prohibition in this August House since 2004. It was in the context that when no trust motion against Chief Minister Mr. Kiran Kumar Reddy Saab was debated in the House on December 5th last year, I was the first one to raise the issue of the menace posed by the liquor mafias. I quote from his speech, "A liquor mafia seems to be taking firm roots in the state these days, with some powerful person forming a controlling syndicate of liquor outlets in various districts. If the liquor mafia is not controlled in time, this may pose a big threat to the Chief Minister and the state government. In near future, like the legendary liquor and drug mafia of New York and Chicago, the liquor mafia is flexing its muscles in the state." I had also pointed out that they are making quick money by resorting to sale of liquor on much higher prices than printed MRP mandated by the government. In one district alone, they said to be ranking to rupees 600 crores a year. Though this modus operandi, their operations are similar to mining and land mafia, and the powers that be would be playing with fire if these trends are not curbed immediately, sir. I went on to add that our party had always pleaded for total prohibition in all kind of liquor, arak and IMFL and other cheap liquors, but after imposing total prohibition in 1990-94, the successive Congress and the TDP government not only lifted the ban on IMFL but also promoted the liquor consumption in the state. Now that the liquor consumption has become a necessary evil, we support the government move to increase the levy of excise duty on IMFL and beer from 85% to 100%. As well, a rise in VAT on IMFL and beer from 70% to 100%. These twin measures I had pointed out would yield an additional revenue of rupees 4,000 crores, which would be sufficient to fund the new modified scheme launched by Chief Minister, including the Rajiv Yuva Kirnalo rupees 1 kg scheme and the interest waiver of loans for self-help groups. At the same time, I have asked the government to keep a close watch on liquor mafia who are looting the tipplers by overcharging them. Yesterday again I had referred, sir, to the liquor minister in this word. Apart from the land allotment mining scam, the liquor mafia grip in the state unfolding, Anti-Corruption Bureau raids on these liquor syndicate have kicked off a storm. I may recall that I was the first to raise the issue of the liquor mafia operating in the state during my speech on the no trust motion in December. And now, after the ACB raids, the government has come to realize the magnitude of loot by the liquor syndicate with the conveyance of politicians, excise and police officers and media persons in sharing the spoils among them, sir. So over 500 political leaders, including a score.
Seem to have a lot of pages.
10 minutes, sir.
15 minutes are already up. Yeah, please.
Just 10 minutes, sir.
Please complete.
So over 500 political leaders, including a score of members of state cabinet and 173 legislators and thousands of excise and police personnel, besides many media personnel, were reportedly named by liquor syndicate. And recipients of their mamul, most of the irregularities in the liquor trade and prohibition excise department have been brought out by the CAG in the report on the functioning of this department during 2009 and 10. The situation has untruly worsened in the last couple of years. Liquor mafia operations are spread to every village and municipal ward with thousands of belt shops flourishing in the state. The turnover of AP Beverages Corporation has shot up to 10,000 crores in the first 8 months of the current financial year, April-November 2011. The annual turnover is expected to cross 15,000 crores. Though maximum retail price violation, the liquor syndicate are amassing another rupees 15,000 crores, sir. The diary seized from a liquor syndicate in Vizag district mentioned the MRP settlement minister among the beneficiaries of Mamuls. The MRP settlement minister is not to be confused with the district minister or district in charge minister. Allegations have been leveled about connections of several ministers, including 3 ministers handling important portfolios of the liquor trade in the state. The executive summary of the report of the CAG on the functioning of the prohibition and excise table in the House during the winter session in December 2011 says that the prohibition excise department plays the dual role of enforcing prohibition on arrack and procuring revenue through regulation of Indian-made foreign liquor and toddy, duty paid on manufacturer license fees fetched through auctions and sales outlets constitute 94% of revenue receipts for this department. Though the recent recession had affected several sectors of economies, liquor trade in the state was on the rise. Revenue on this account became the second largest source of tax receipt in the state. The excise revenue increased, sir, from rupees 2,684 crore in 2005 and 6 to rupees 5,848 crore in 2009 and 10. The CAG report says. The report spread over 5 chapters came up with 5 key recommendations, sir. The magnitude of the liquor trade can be gauged with quantum of liquor consumption and the revenues it fetches both in the state government and AP Beverages Corporation. The state excise revenue have shot up manifold from rupees 887 crores in 1997 and 98 to rupees 8,265 crores in 2010 and 11. Sir. The total turnover of AP Beverages Corporation has soared from only rupees 1,105 crore in 94-95 to rupees 13,040 crore in 2010 and 11. Sir. The turnover touches rupees 15,000 crore this year. Finance Minister Mr. Ramnaran Reddy estimated the excise revenue for the next year, that is 2012 and 13, to shoot up to rupees 10,820 from rupees 9,014 crore in the current financial year. Till 2005 and 6, the Hyderabad topped the district in liquor consumption. Excise revenue and turnover of AP Beverages Corporation, however, Rangareddy tops the list of district and scores from 2006 and 7 onwards. Other high consumption districts which contribute substantially to the excise and revenue beverage corporation turnover are Visakhapatnam, Karimnagar, Guntur, Krishna, East Godavari, Chittur, Warangal, Nellore, West Godavari, Nalgonda, Mahbubnagar. The remaining district, Kurnool, Medak, Prakasham, Kadapa, Anantapur, Vijayanagaram, Khammam, Srikakulam and Nizamabad are fast catching up. To quote from the statement of excise demand, sir, there was a sudden spurt in excise revenue during the year 2005 and 6 due to auctioning of retail liquor outlets designated as A4 shops. The levy of excise duty that dominated up to the year 2006 and 7 gave up to APBCL margin to top till 2009 and 10. However, the lease amount license fee is overtaking the overheads revenue of 2010 and 11 to the auction of A4 from the lease period of 2010 and 12 fetch lease amount with an increase of 120% that for the previous lease period, sir. So the enormous increase in the lease amount under the auction system is evident from these details. 6,586 A4 shops were auctioned for a lease amount of 620 crore in 2005 and 6. This rose to 1,648 crore during 2006 and 8 and gained double of rupees 1,184 crore during 2008 and 10. For the 2010 and 12 lease period, the lease amount fetched rupees 6,990 crores. There is a huge rush for the lease of A4. More than 19,400 people participated in auction in 2008 and over 48,000 during